A couple people, thank you.
School, right?
It's on school, yeah. Yep. So right now it's free. Maybe someday in the future, if we actually get good at our jobs, maybe we'll have like a pro version. We might charge for it, but so far the last 10 years, we haven't really charged for anything but real estate commissions if you use us to list properties. That's about it. Except for tonight, I guess we have another sales pitch, but we'll get into that later. What else? We had a new, we got a new website too. It's the same, northidaho.rei.com. Has anybody been on our website before to get info?
Yeah.
So now you can actually search the MLS with it, and it's pretty fancy. But we have all the same kind of features. But now, if you want the investor tools, we've upgraded our calculator to make it a little bit more simple. So if you guys are out there, if you're wholesaling or you're fixing and flipping or you're looking to buy rentals or something like that, and you just want to kind of just throw some rough numbers in here, I tried to make this as simple as possible. I also copied a lot of this from Chad Young, but I added my own flair to it. If you're working on a property and you just want to see if you're getting a good deal or not, all you got to know is how much is the renovation and what should the property be worth. So know those two numbers at least, and then ideally try to know some of these others, or you could just leave them filled in. But if you know what purchase price you want to offer, put it here. And then how many days is the renovation going to take? I just put 60 on this example. How much of a loan are you getting of the purchase price? So this is the percentage of the purchase price, not the renovation. Let's say you're getting 100% of the purchase price, and then maybe you're putting renovations on a credit card or something like that. And then how many points is this hard money loan going to cost you? I just put a standard of 3. Sometimes you can get better. Sometimes it's worse. 3 points, 10% interest is pretty standard. And then it automatically over here, it will light up green if you're over 30 grand. But more importantly, your net margin, if this is green, it's usually a good deal. And then here's a little side note too. This will take whatever these figures are, your rehab and your ARV, and it will give you recommendations here on if you're going to wholesale this deal. This is an ideal wholesale price for a property like this. This would be the ideal price at 70% for most flippers. This would be an ideal price, or this is okay for some flippers, I guess, it's a 75% deal. And then this one getting like almost into the red. Don't go higher than this. This is like a great location type of pricing. Harder to wholesale these kind of deals. But at least this will all generate for you. All you have to type in is this stuff up here. And then you can adjust down here if you want to get real accurate on how much money am I actually going to make on this deal. And it's got pretty much everything figured in, which is pretty sweet. A little bit easier. Has anybody used their old calculators? One. Cool. Does this look simpler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
that's in the mastermind or on your website or?
yeah, so it's both. I just posted it to our mastermind today because I just finished it. So if you just it's the latest little thing here. So you can just download that on our mastermind, or you can go to the classroom and you can go to like fix and flips. And there's a couple of like video courses on fix and flips and a case study. And then there's that deal calculator and you can download it there too. So going to try to expand this. Right now it's really basic in here. There's not much. It kind of sucks right now, but I think over time it might get better. And we'll probably on the calendar start adding the other local REIs that are in the area. And then maybe if we want to start doing other random scheduled calls, they'll just start popping in here. You'll notice one's gone next week because I'll be in Mexico. And right now nobody's doing this but me. But yeah, pay attention to the calculator and or the calendar if you want to be a part of those calls, and just add them to your Google Calendar if you're using Google Calendar, and it will update you whether it's going to be happening or not. Question? Someone back there? Yeah.
On that Excel doc that you had,
Yeah.
does that have, and is it good to compare with square foot cost with comparisons of as you go in, the going rate rate for this neighborhood is this much square foot? And do you have
Um, So with this particular one, or do I have another one for like helping with?
this or another one? I'm just curious, is that for doing flips, is it good to use square foot cost comparison when you're going in?
No,
Job, and you want to see, okay.
I would really stay away from just square footage because it varies so much depending on the type of house and location and stuff. Unless you are looking in like a certain section of Coeur d'Alene Place, like a cookie cutter neighborhood with the same type of built homes, like, you know, all these are ranchers with basements and the basements are 90% finished. And then you can kind of do square foot for square foot, but you just got to be careful when you're doing the Zillow guesstimates. Yeah. Any other questions about that? This spreadsheet's just designed to like give you a real quick, if somebody calls you or if you're analyzing a deal or if like, you know, so if a realtor tells you, yeah, that house fixed up, we could just run a quick scenario. Let's say you're looking at a house in Coeur d'Alene Place, it's a little rancher, and it's a disaster, but a realtor tells you, hey, fixed up, that thing's worth $500,000. $500,000. And you may wonder, well, how much is it going to cost to fix up? It's 1,400 square feet. It needs new carpet. It needs paint on the inside. It needs paint on the outside. Maybe another couple fixes. The kitchen's fine. The bathrooms are fine. 25,000 probably, right? Interior paint, exterior paint, flooring. It's probably a pretty good estimate. I know it's rough, but this is a good thing for just checking rough numbers. 25,000. So before you even try to guess what could I pay for it, you can just come right here. So you pushed in your ARV, your rehab, and then, oh, okay, if I can get it for 300,000, I can probably just wholesale this. But if I can get it for 325, you know, maybe I can go flip this. I can probably pay up to 375 because it's Coeur d'Alene Place. It's an easy neighborhood. It's going to probably sell quick. I can actually probably spend 375, which I mostly wouldn't recommend, but this 80% deal, Coeur d'Alene Place, I'd probably do that. Does that make sense? Okay.
Meaning you buy it there, not try to wholesale it from there.
Yeah, probably just buy it, try to and flip it or keep it as a rental or something like that. It's just kind of like it's a great location. Like it's very likely you're not going to screw up on the ARV. Is like and a great location. Ideally, I wouldn't buy anything more than 80% if it's not in a really good location and the comps are not hard. It's not hard to put a value on it. Like it's like this is what it's at within 10 grand or something. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because a lot of what we deal with, like the ARV can wildly fluctuate. Yeah.
Are you bringing this doc with you on an iPad and filling it in as you walk it?
I did. So yesterday, yesterday morning, a realtor said, "Hey, one of my clients needs a hard money loan," and I use this as a lender, and I forgot to go back to her. She texted me again. She's like, "Hey, I'm kind of in a hurry. Can you get that to me?" And I'm like, "Okay, what do you think it will sell for? How much is it going to cost? How much does he want down?" And I was able to do this while driving in heavy traffic, you know, on Government Way on my phone. And quickly I was able to determine he's going to lose $6,000 if he buys that house. No, I'm not going to do the loan. So you could do it. It's for like quickly trying to gauge if a deal's worth buying. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Try to do it in traffic, in other words.
Yeah, but the colors make it easy.
The moral is don't drive with Nick.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, don't drive with me. I'm bad. I'm a bad guy. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to do introductions. I'm so sorry. Why don't we start with you, sir? Well, I'll introduce myself first, but that's okay. Do you mind?
No.
No, just kidding. I think I know almost everybody here. I'm Nick Beveridge. I'm a real estate agent and investor. Been doing this for about 10 years now, doing the meetups. I've been an agent and a broker for 15 years and doing a few flips right now. Joe and I are working on a development deal that we're pretty excited about. I haven't bought a rental for a year now, so I'm kind of itchy to buy another rental. So if you guys come across anything, Cooney County, that fits that the color. Yeah, 80% if it's in Coeur d'Alene Place, but I like the 70% deals. Anyway, that's me. Go ahead.
My name's Steve.
Oh, and you know what? I'm sorry, Steve. Do you mind passing around the mic?
Yeah.
Just talking to the mic a little bit. Good. This is recorded, so.
My name's Steve. I'm a general contractor in the area and just recently decided to get into real estate investing. I've got a friend out of Salt Lake City that's been doing it for about 15 years and has kind of always prompted me. And so I decided to go ahead and do it. And he suggested finding, local meetups like this to learn and talk to people and, meet people in the area. So I found you guys and decided to show up.
Well, thank you. Thanks for coming. Okay. Saber, you're next. Yep.
Hello.
Well, you don't have to be that close, but just kind of have it.
Hey, everybody. I'm Sabra. I'm an agent on the team and manage the team. Anything you guys need help with, you can always reach out to me. I'll point you in the right direction, connect you with people in the group. Don't forget, I can help you buy or sell a house that's not an investment property. If anyone you knows, I love that too. So yeah, anything you guys need, always reach out.
Hey everybody, I'm Joe. I'm Nick's business partner, and I have been doing a lot of flips lately. But they're all in the market now, so I'm looking for more flips. I have about 15 rentals. I'm trying to sell a couple of those. We just bought our dream property on Spirit Lake, so I'm going to be building on Spirit Lake at some point. So I'll be looking for contractor recommendations because we're going to try to GC it ourselves. So that's my story.
And I got a place for my jet ski now.
Hey everyone, I'm Dan, relatively local investor. I'm out of Spokane. Got a couple flips I've done this past year and got a couple buy and holds. Always looking to partner, looking to grow my network, and just kind of learning along the way. And yeah, I'm here for a couple more months till the Air Force moves me. So definitely looking to meet everyone and network.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Hello, everyone. My name's Kristen. I'm relatively new to real estate investment, so I'm here to learn, network, and I do have a goal set for myself to buy something by either Q4 this year, potentially Q1 next year. I don't really know. And yeah, I'm open to, I don't know, maybe my first deal, like partnering with somebody. I would love to kind of have somebody to go through the process with, I think the first time, only for confidence reasons and to learn, of course. So yeah, thank you.
My name's Bart Baranko. This is my wife, Connie, and we're with Banyan Financial. We're a private money broker, so we want to partner with people that are doing flips and need to get funded. So we primarily focus on non-owner occupied residential, but we can also do some other commercial and other things. And a lot of times we can offer 100% financing. So that's us.
Right on. Thank you. Have to get your card.
Hey, I'm Badra Nunley. I recognize just about everybody in here except a couple of you. I own a construction company here locally. I specialize in flooring, remodels, and doing some bigger things here coming up. I actually have a need for a customer. I'm doing a new construction build for them, and they're looking for a rental for the next probably year or so south of Highway 90, downtown Coeur d'Alene area, 2-bedroom, 1-bath minimum. They are willing to pay up to $2,500, $3,000. So if anybody has something,
I have some.
perfect. Well, contact with me before you leave. So, all right.
2,000.
Corey Pettit. I have some rentals. Like to get some more. I'd like to invest in the Silver Valley. So thanks.
My name's Andrew Simpson. I'm a wholesaler. I've got a property right now in Freda that I'm looking to get rid of. If you're on the Easy Home Buyers list, you might have seen it. So buy that one. Or talk to me too, because I can show you pictures and stuff. I've also got a property in Grand Coulee that I'm looking to get rid of. And it is, let's just say the bids can start at like $20,000. It's, if you want to be a slumlord, it'd be a great place to start. And yeah, if you want to see pics, let me know.
Oh, my name is Larry Weiss. I'm here to network and learn and
jump in the real estate game. I've been coming to a few of these, recognize a few of you as well. But I'm just here to learn and network. Thank you.
Sean Dolan, and I don't do a damn thing.
Trace Heavner. I own and operate some short-term rentals, and the next one will be in Hayden. So if you have any cute houses in Hayden, I'll be looking for them.
Right on.
My name is Bill Allington, and I am not in the real estate business. I am in the healthcare business, and I'm looking for rental properties that I can convert into assisted living facilities. I have an excellent business plan that will pay you 3 times the fair market value of what you're renting the houses for. So if you're interested, let me know.
Hi, I'm Vincent, and actually been here a few times, but just learning like all of you. And we're actually looking at flipping my tiny house and also building chicken coops with me and my partner. And we're also looking at probably just building a house. So could use your input on that.
My name is Isaac. I'm brand new to the space. My first time at one of these meetings. Vincent told me about it. I'm a carpenter, like you said, building a chicken coop if anybody's interested. Handyman as well. Always looking for work if anybody needs anything. And my goal is also to build and to sell.
Oh, thank you.
I'm TJ, and this is my wife Jennifer. Just got into flipping here with Nick this past October, and we flipped our first one, and we're on our second one. It's a doozy, so it's still learning, but having fun doing it. It's a good ride. Loved working with this team. If you've not worked with Nick and his team, they are just top notch. Every one of them. RD, Sabra, you guys are, Joe, all of you guys have just been fantastic to work with. Can't rave enough about you guys. So thank you.
You are too nice. Thank you.
My name is RD. I'm a real estate agent on their team. I'm looking for child labor. I have so I need to hire someone, but I can't afford any of you guys. Like I need like an assistant, someone that can use AI. So if you have like a bad child without like a record, I will put them to work. I will make them work hard and just they'll work on the computer. I need someone to work for me on the computer. But actually, I'm really just looking for an assistant. So if you guys know anyone that's looking to learn about real estate and electrical, that's what I'm looking for. I don't know. It depends on the person. That's why I said child. It'd be nice to pay the... No, but I mean, realistically, if they know something... I don't know. We'll talk about it. Let's talk about it. Probably 20 hours or something like that is what I'm thinking. So at this point, and it's going to hopefully go from there sort of a deal. So yeah, I don't know if I can actually hire a 13-year-old. I know like in between 16 and 18, those guys are often on their way towards, but if we could do it. You have a kid? Excellent.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Garabedian, and I am a longtime developer, mostly multifamily. And currently, I'm active in the lending market and have money to loan and want to loan it to all of you. So if anybody has a project they want to discuss, please let me know.
Awesome.
Can you hear me? I'm Judy Kozad, a new investor, a couple years now. I just lost a property to someone that swooped in at 75%. So I was below 70, and she was happy with that. And then someone came in at 75. Dang it! So, yeah.
Sorry to hear that. That was me, wasn't it? No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I'm usually a cheapskate.
Yeah.
All right. Did we get anybody? Did we miss anybody? Did anybody forget? Did anybody have something to say that they wanted to say and they forgot? No? Okay. Well, okay. Has anybody heard in the news that real estate sucks right now?
Yeah, but it's a lie. In our area.
In our area, yeah.
In our area.
I mean, it's probably true nationwide, right, in general, but I just wanted to show you guys what's actually happening in our local Kootenai County area. So this is a report, came out June 1st, Greater Coeur d'Alene, which covers all Kootenai County. And this report is single family homes. So there's no mobile home. Oh, actually, there could be mobile homes on here. Sorry, but there's no townhouses or condos or anything like that. And it just gives you a good sense of what's currently on the market in what price range. It chops it up if you haven't been here before. Has anybody not seen this before? This graph? A couple of people? Okay. It tells you in what price range how each market is doing. So this is the number of active listings. This is the number of listings that are under contract of these properties here. So for instance, the 275,000 to 300 range, you have 34 homes on the market. Of those 34, 12 are under contract. And then you've got this percentage here, 35%, that's your pending ratio. And then that's how you get your months of inventory. Your months of inventory is how much supply at this current rate of what's active and what's going under contract, approximately how much time until everything sells out if we continue that absorption rate. So in a traditional real estate market, a normal market is around 6 months. It's like 5 to 7 months, somewhere in there. For like the last 8 years or so, we've been in a seller's market, and we almost got to a balanced market. And guess what? We're back to a seller's market. Overall, if you just take the entire market all the way, from 0 to 2 million plus and average everything out, we're at 3.3 months of inventory. So if you imagine going to a grocery store and you've got all the shelves in an aisle, half the shelves are empty. And if you like to think more about what's going on in our local market, imagine the employees that are there to help you, and those are real estate agents, and they're flooding the stores. Like you can't even fit in the aisle because there's more real estate agents than inventory. So it's kind of we've been in this weird cycle for a while. But nationally, things are a little bit different. There's more sellers than there are buyers. In our local market right now, there's just not enough inventory to meet the demands that are normal demands historically. And what I like to get out of this report is where's it hot right now? Like, where are most of the buyers? And the easy way to kind of look at that is the number of homes sold in the category. So closed in the last 6 months. And I just try to find the weird thing about this report is sometimes it's broken up into 25,000s. And then eventually it kind of, when you drop further, the categories get bigger. So you got to be careful there. This all of a sudden becomes, instead of this $25,000 gap, you have a $100,000 gap here. So naturally, you may think just scanning this, oh my God, things are flying off the shelves in the 500 to 600 range because it's like triple what this is. But actually, there's a lot more going on in the 475 to 500 range, if that makes sense. If you broke this up, it'd be smaller than that. So a lot of the action is in general happening here. But 475 to 500, if you are flipping a house and you know that the after repair value is somewhere around 475, 500-ish, this is kind of just a good tool to come to and see how long am I going to be on the market approximately and budget that in your timing. So the 475 to 500 price range, you've got about 80 days on the market, about 45 until it goes pending or so, but 80 total days. So when you're here in this spreadsheet, if you want to nerd out a little bit more, which I've seen a few nerds in this classroom, this renovation days, that's how long it takes you to renovate the property, but you may want to adjust your days to sell. So if you see that the average is like 80 days, you just plug in 80 days here and it will appropriately calculate the interest and the holding costs and the taxes and insurance, all that for you. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. So big upgrade on the spreadsheet. I'm pretty excited about that spreadsheet.
The market sheet, is that something you guys have on your website, or?
That's something, you know what? It's something that Keller Williams Realty provides, which I'm no longer at that brokerage, but I've got an in with a guy at Keller Williams Realty that sends me these. So maybe we'll just start putting them on that mastermind, if I remember, because he sends them to me every other week. Okay. So maybe we'll just throw them on the mastermind page. Just let us know if you want that. You got to join the mastermind.
As a flipper, what's the main things of that graph that you're looking at and really keying into?
The big thing I'm looking at is months of inventory, the pending ratio, and then how long can we expect it on the market. List to sales price ratio. I mean, I kind of look at it all. Another thing that a lot of people just tend to avoid or skip is like what's been denied by the market in the last 6 months. So it's kind of good to know, how much is out there just expiring. But for instance, I know in Hayden, we're flipping a property that we're going to price around 600 grand, we're going to be 570 to 600 somewhere in there when we're done. So I probably want to pay attention over here and realize that it could take a couple of months for it to go under contract. So just got to be aware of that. But the good news is there's only 2.5 months of inventory. About 40% of the properties that are on the market in that price range are already under contract. So that's good. But just plan on holding it longer and not getting too frustrated. And I've just got a plan for it. We have like a 6-month loan until all the interest is paid the way we have this loan set up. And I know that we have to pay all that interest on month 6. Knowing this, we're probably going to be on month 8 or so until it sells. So I just got to figure out a little bit more interest and make sure I have the cash for that. That's all. Does that make sense? Yeah. But this is a good gauge. I like to look at this more before I buy a property. And I know that the ARV is in a certain price range, because that will help me predict what it's going to cost long term. Yeah. Because typically these reports don't move fast. They move slow over time. Unless you're a Tesla stock today. That moved fast. Okay.
Did it go up or down?
It went down 14%. Because, yeah. I did. I bought 20 grand worth. I know. We'll see what happens. I couldn't resist. I'm like, 14% discount. I like my deals. Any questions on this before we move on?
Where do you get that again?
I get it from a guy. And then I think we'll start just uploading them into the community somewhere. Yeah, maybe we'll have a classroom, like a market updates, and maybe we can post them in there somewhere. Yeah. Anybody excited about the mastermind for me to shut up about it? Just kidding. Okay. All right. I think we covered all the big stuff. You guys want to hear about wholesaling? Yeah. Okay. So we kind of have a unique presentation tonight. I'm going to be doing the first half, and then Joe's going to be doing the second half. We've been doing what's called wholesale hacking, and I just put a name to it. We've been doing it for about 10 years, and I'll share what that is. So here's us, in case you don't know us. I know there's only like 2 people in the room that don't really know us, but I've brokered a little over 600 properties. I've purchased a little over 100 properties myself. Joe, she flips 5 to 10 homes a year. She's financially free with rental income. She's loaded. Sabra's managed hundreds of transactions, and she puts up with us, which is great. And then RD means he's a man in the back. Sold 3 homes his first month, so you know the guy can hustle. And he needs more people to help. Okay, you ever heard this phrase? This is kind of the motto that Joe and I adopted when we first started partnering. We're like, let's try to work smart, not hard. But I felt like we work hard. I don't know. I really, emphasize your network is your net worth. kept getting taught that, and that's always wanted to put on the networking groups, and I felt like it's really helped me long term. But spoiler alert, this is not just educational. We're actually going to pitch you something tonight. Woo, sorry, but
We already know. I don't think it's a
yeah,
sales
she doesn't
pitch
think it
because
is.
We're not asking for any money whatsoever. We're trying to create a win-win situation if you're interested.
I want to make it awkward though, so just let me do it. But just to sum up this whole presentation tonight, we want you, if you're interested, to go out, find the motivated sellers, and we'll handle comps, contracts, ARVs, funding, buyers, more. If you got all the hustle, we're good at everything else. Okay, anybody not know what wholesaling is? Only a couple people. Anybody not wholesale before? All of you have, okay. Yeah. So this is the simplest way I think I can sum it up. You get a house at a discount under contract, right? You don't buy it, you get it under contract at a big discount. You sell the contract and you make money without ever purchasing the house. That's wholesaling. Does that make sense? Yeah. For the two guys that were honest? Thank you. And this is how you wholesale. You find a motivated seller, lock it up, then you find a buyer, assign the contract, and then you close it. You find a record. That's what they teach you at these big seminars. If you've ever been, has anybody ever been to a seminar and the first thing they teach you is how to wholesale? And they try to get you, yeah, Sean knows what I'm talking about. The reality is there's a lot involved in wholesaling. Does anybody here actually wholesale full time? I know Andrew, you do a lot of it. Anybody else? Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. So when you're wholesaling, there's a lot involved with market research, marketing campaigns, you got to field calls, make outbound calls, analyze deals, negotiate with people. You got to use the right contracts, assignments, market for buyers. All of a sudden you have to sell this thing and you're on a time crunch. You got to do showings, assignments. So after the showing, you got to assign it properly. And then you got to work with the right closing company and close it. So still doesn't sound too complicated. But there's actually a lot more involved. And there's more. And this is just a little bit. This is just scratching the surface. There's a lot that goes on. And here's what I've seen, because I've been in this community for a long time and going to seminars regularly because I'm obsessed with it. But I see this so much. People get into wholesaling, and most wholesalers burn out. Not because they can't find deals, but because they get stuck analyzing them. They struggle finding serious buyers. Anybody ever had that issue? Finally have a good deal, and then you can't even find a serious buyer? Or you use the wrong contracts or the wrong title companies. Some title companies don't let you do sub-twos. Some title companies don't let you wholesale. And then they might get lost when it comes to funding, or they say they're working with a buyer who says that they've got their funding in place and then they don't, and they don't even show up to closing. I've heard that happen. But a lot of these roadblocks, they just kill momentum, and they stop a deal from ever closing. Anybody relate at all? 2 people, cool. Yeah. So this is what we can help with. And this is what I've been helping with a lot of people for a long time. I help them analyze properties. So you tell me about the property, send me some photos, or take me on your appointment, and I can help you analyze it. We can run the numbers together, get detailed comps. We can get detailed with what the repairs are probably going to cost. That way you can stop guessing and actually have a solid deal. We'll help you with contracts and compliance. Contracts aren't really worth anything. They're free. They're only worth something when you have good agreements on them, in my opinion. So we can help with that stuff. And then connections. We've got about 1,000 people in our network that we've met personally that have come to these groups in and out for the last 10 years, that we have a good list of people that we've sent deals to. So we've got some pretty good exposure at this point. We've got trusted hard money lenders. And a lot of contractors too. And then we have exit strategies that typically pay. Whether that's like helping where we'll just buy the deal from you, we'll help you wholesale it, or just list it if you need to wholesale it. So here's some different ways that you can partner with us. You just bring us a deal and we'll buy it. That's the easiest way. And you'll get 100% of your wholesale fee. Or we can do it together and we'll split it 50-50. Or just use our buyers list. And we'll help dispo it for you. We won't do any of the showings or anything like that, but we will help market it for you. And you keep 75% of your wholesale fee. And these are some of the people that we've helped. I don't know if anybody recognizes any of these people. These are the people that we've worked with over the last 10 years or so, again and again, on deals.
Andy, you look 12 in that.
I found an old one for on Facebook. Your wife sent it to me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyway, not trying to brag too much, but I just want to show you guys that like we're not new at this. This isn't a new idea. We've been doing it for a while. I've just never really kind of pitched it out there out loud that, hey, if you need help working on a deal, we're just going to offer right now. We can help you with it. And we just want our taste. Okay? Any questions before we get into how to find motivated sellers that Joe's going to head up? Any questions?
What are comps?
What are comps? Comps are, that's where we go and we try to find comparable properties that have sold in the last year or so, or that are under contract or that are active, that will help us find a value, an as-is value on the property that you're buying, and an after repair value. But any other questions? Okay. I can see that didn't go over well. Yeah, go ahead. No, I'm just kidding.
I was driving around, found a house. The owner got in touch with them. They're motivated to sell. I made a pitch.
Mm-hmm.
They went with somebody for a higher price, but I'm not sure the person can really come in on the price of top. And I built really good rapport with the lady. Would you be interested in looking at it at some point?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and that's how I spend probably half my time, 75% of my time, is I help investors analyze deals. So you're not wasting my time if you call me for this kind of stuff. The other 25% of my time, I'm like buying materials on Amazon for my flip or at Lowe's.
Or Tesla stock.
So please do not be afraid to ask for my help because that's my job. That's what I do. And tonight is the first night I think I'm actually publicly announcing what I do for a living and making an offer out there to you guys. But yes, thank you. I will help out.
Okay.
And sorry, anything else? Anybody else have a question? She's not? Okay. So quick question, how did you determine what you can offer?
I looked up I started doing, my mom was in real estate my whole life, so
Okay.
I kind of have some understanding. So I started doing comps on it, figured out what it was comping at. That came out basically about 400. I wouldn't walk the property. It's a pretty significant amount of repair.
Yeah.
And so I just did 70% of 400 minus repair.
Perfect. Okay.
Threw a number at her.
Yeah. And that's a great way to do it. But you can always ask me for a second opinion too.
Yeah.
And I can let you know if your ARV might be a little too conservative.
Sure.
Not. Most of the time, one of my big flaws is I am sometimes a little too conservative, and I do lose out on a lot of deals. But most of the deals I do, I make a decent amount on. But I'm trying to not be as conservative as I have been in the past.
Yeah.
But I try to just provide good data.
It's an art
Go
and
ahead.
a science, and a
Yeah.
lot of times you're not done with the project till 4 months, and who knows what interest rates in the market will be
Yeah.
doing, right? So that's why you have that margin to protect yourself. But
And some investors do more than what I expect. You know, because I've in the past, he did a lot more. He like did double to this property what I thought he would do, and that's why my ARV was pretty low at first. But I remember years ago with Nathan Price. I don't know if anybody knows Nathan Price. He was flipping a house here in Coeur d'Alene, and I did an ARV for him, and I thought I was pretty spot on with it, but I didn't realize how low of quality his contractor would do on this house, and it was a pretty shoddy job. I mean, they did everything, but it was just the quality was pretty bad, and it was in a nice neighborhood, and they went with like the cheapest carpet, the worst paint, the worst countertops, and it was just kind of a hack job. Wasn't Nathan's fault; it was just contractors that he hired, but this house did not go for what I thought it would go for because the renovation job was pretty crappy. So sometimes you can't get it perfect. You kind of have to have, now I know to like ask what kind of materials are you going to use? Are you going to do stone or Formica, that kind of stuff? But it's just a little example. Yeah. Okay. You want to start?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna run through this presentation. Most of you, I don't think were there, but I did do this like 6 months ago at our event center. Who was there for that? Maybe 4 people? Okay, I apologize to the 4 people, but I want this to be interactive, especially Andy and George, if you have things you want to throw in about things that work for you guys when you're finding deals. This is just hitting some highlights, and people are like, how do I even start to know where to find a deal? So this is 3 ways I found deals last year now. So just in general, these are like kind of the top 10 things you can do, right? Networking. I've found many deals in here, and other people have found deals in here. Direct mail is a great one, and especially one once you have the money to do it, right? It's a great way to leverage your time to just send out mailers. And there's really great websites like Deal Machine. Our team did that for a while, and we found some good deals that way. Or handwritten letters, which I'll get into as well. Driving for dollars sounds like that's pretty much what you did. When you just drive around a neighborhood, you see the worst house in a good neighborhood. That's a great way to find deals. Other wholesalers. You can search public records, auctions, auction.com, Facebook Marketplace. I know they have postings. If you have an in with real estate attorneys or somebody who might know about somebody in trouble with their houses. And foreclosures, they're definitely nowhere near 2008, but with the interest rates now, if you got into a 5-year loan, 4 years ago, you're like I did, I'm coming up due on a couple of them, and to refinance now, I'm going to be not cash flowing at all on them. So there's people struggling out there. Other social media, and then cold calling. Okay, so just some basic do's and don'ts. You want to research your leads, always be polite, kind of be prepared. You can script practice, you can role play with people. I mean, if you've never talked to anybody before, it's great to talk to Nick, me, somebody else has done it, and be like, how do you even begin to talk to these people? And the basic rule is just be normal, right, Andrew? Like, do you just try to be yourself and figure out what their problem is and try to help them? If you come off as all salesy, I don't think that works as well, but maybe that's just me. You just want to, and even if somebody's like, nah, I'm not interested, keep following up with them. I've made so many deals if I call somebody back 3-6 months later and then they are ready to do a deal. Definitely don't be pushy, don't waste time, don't call it inconvenient times, and don't overpromise are big things to do. Okay, so who do you call? Again, do I have some highlighted? No, I don't. You can search county records for tax liens, real estate websites. One of the deals coming up I found on Zillow, there's a tab, which I'll show you. I think that's the next slide. You can go on Zillow, make a circle of any area you want to look at, and just click the boxes for pre-foreclosures, auctions, foreclosures, and it pulls up a list. And also auction.com is another website that does that. So that's how I found one of my deals. I just was bored one day and looking for deals, and that's what I did. Again, a lot of this is redundant. Networking, driving for dollars. You can buy lists from people, from title companies. You can get a list of, I want a list of all houses that are owned free and clear in Kellogg, because that has a lot of equity and maybe they want to sell them. So there's all kinds of targeted lists you can research and get from title companies. I find a deal on the MLS every year. I just closed on one in Priest River. So the MLS still has deals, I promise you. And again, social media. Okay, and then here's just a list of some websites for distressed homes. PropStream is a popular one. Foreclosure.com. I don't know. I've never heard of Reonomy, but this was from ChatGPT or something. Andrew, George, do you guys have other favorite websites you like to try to find distressed homes on?
Deal Machine.
Just Deal Machine? Yeah, Deal Machine is a website and like a platform that'll direct mail addresses. It's really cool. I've actually never used it. My team has, though. I paid for it, but I never used it. But you can drive for dollars with it. You can pull lists. It'll automatically mail postcards to homes, and they'll call you.
You can call from it too now.
Really?
They have a auto dialer? No, it's like a single line dialer, but you can use it from your phone or from the web browser. And it's get races too, right? Yeah.
That's a great way. And how much is that a month? Or
It's like $169.
the $169 a month. I use I think it's called. Shoot, I should have brought my laptop up here. It's like Realty Track, but it's like RE Realty something. It's like $65 a month, and it lets me search any homes I want. So there's a whole bunch of websites out there that you can research and use for this kind of stuff. Oh, there it is. REI Smart Data. That's the one I use. And so you can just search all kinds. It has all kinds of filters if you want free and clear, if you want absentee owners, people that live out of state. Just play with it. And I don't know for sure what's the best list. I don't know. It seems like we've had a lot of luck with pre-foreclosures, and I don't know. It just seems like no rhyme or reason of where the deals come from. It's just people in $65 a month. You never know what people are going through. There's all kinds of situations that motivate people to just want to sell it quickly, and it's not ready for the MLS. They don't want to deal with an agent, and they just want to get rid of it. So I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
I don't do this kind of stuff.
I'm
the wheelman. You guys drop Granny, and I'll drive away.
So I also use like public records, like Kootenai County websites or Property Space, or the title companies also have websites that you can look, okay, who owns this house? And then I'll use White Pages, which is like $15 a month. And it's actually been about 80% accurate lately, I would say, with giving actual accurate phone numbers. So if you want to try cold calling, or you see a distressed house and you're not brave enough to knock on the door, you can look up the owner. And Idaho is a little bit trickier than most states because we are non-disclosure, but it's still pretty easy to find. And, give them a call and see if you can help them out. So this is like my basic script. This is one of the deals I found on Zillow. I just looked at what was coming up for auction. I went to White Pages. I saw that actually it wasn't even Radine. It was sometimes on White Pages, it'll have the owner, and then I'll call that number. I will get nowhere. And below it, it'll say maybe related to, and it has other people. So I remember I just called this person who happened to be like the son of the woman who was in a nursing home, right? And so somehow I'm so sorry, this might not even be the right number, but I was online. I noticed your house was on auction.com. I don't know if that's a mistake or not, but do you need any help? I'm trying to ask questions to see, is this a person in a distressed situation that I might be able to help and get a deal? Always trying to create a win-win situation. Nick always taught me, you just get them talking. I know I'm talking a lot right now, but in general, you just want to ask questions and let them do the talking, because the more the other person talks, the more they will like and trust you. It's like 7 effective ways, I don't know, one of those books, one of those old timey books. That's one of the tricks of getting people to like you, is to let them talk as much as possible. And the number one goal, don't forget, is to set an appointment. So you're talking, you're building good rapport, and you just want to know, like, you know what, I would actually just love to come check out the property. Is there a good time next Monday at like 1 or 3? Try to give them an either or option to set the appointment and actually get in front of them. Because once you get in front of somebody, then you're really going to build some good rapport there, you know, because on the phone, it's easy just to hang up on somebody. Try to get face to face. So this was actually Radian's house in Kellogg. That's what it looked like. Here's some, I just love before and after, so I have to throw some in there. And then this was the after. So I ended up selling it to the neighbor, so it worked out perfect. I didn't even have to list it. And so, any questions on any of that?
You said research your lists or your leads.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to just take a list and just cold call it personally. I like to look it up, see what it is. I mean, that's just me. But you could, there's a lot of people with auto dialers or just call. I mean, it's a numbers game at the end of the day too sometimes. So, yes.
Are you typically asking them, about the needing help to sell their home or needing help? Like, where do you go?
Yeah, so I'm a little different than most because I have an active real estate license. So I'm honestly trying to see, like, could I help you sell it on the market? Or are you in a jam and you just need to get rid of it? You need a quick cash close? I can help you with that too. And so I try to approach it multifaceted. If I didn't have my real estate license, I would just go the route of like, you know, I'm an investor and, you know, or I work with investors and we close really fast with cash and help people out of a jam. If you're in that position, I don't know if you're not, but your house is on auction.com. So really like you to not go through foreclosure if you don't have to, you know, just kind of approach it that way. Yeah. Anything to add, wholesalers?
If we were to call somebody and kind of give them the same, you know, looking to see if there's a way to help you, not as a licensed agent.
Yeah.
And their response was they want to list it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, would it be a viable option just to say, okay, cool, let me put you in contact with, and then hand it off?
100%. Nick and I do that all the time. And we can pay you a 25% marketing fee for that too.
Yeah, just don't, I gotta edit that out now. But yes, we just paid one yesterday.
But I mean, because then
we just paid a marketing fee.
it is to help you. But if that's what they want,
Yeah,
I'm not an agent, but I can hand them off to an agent.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. There's rules, of course. If you're not a licensed agent, you shouldn't be selling real estate actively. There's some gray area in there. I don't want to be on camera.
Oh, it's a joke. Well, you didn't call it a commission.
Yeah. So anyway, we would love to help you in any way possible if you come across motivated sellers, but they want to put it on the MLS. So
The reason why we're acting weird about it, in case some people are like, what is going on? As real estate agents, it would be illegal for us to give you part of a commission if you're not licensed.
Right.
Yeah. But if you send us an invoice for a marketing fee, realtors pay bills all the time for marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
anyway, good job.
But we can't share our commission.
Any other tips for scripts or how you guys talk to sellers when you talk to them? When you're first making contact, any advice?
You can give away secrets. I say,
Well, I'm not saying how he found the deal, but just like when you're talking to people.
I was gonna say, hey, I saw the bank was giving you trouble.
Ah,
See if I can help.
that's a good one. Yeah, you try to be on their side, right? Like, I'm here to help. F the people that are putting you down.
What took the skill, Andy, with Russell? You said you worked it for a year.
Oh, I don't know. I think you just had to be ready for it.
Any other questions about that? No. Okay, another method, direct mail. This one is really nice for people that are shy and don't want to get on the phone because you don't have to talk to anybody. You just have to either pay for a lot of mailers or take the time to handwrite your own, which I get a wild hair sometimes, especially in the winter when there's like nothing going on. I'm like, I'm going to write 20 letters a day because I like doing boring stuff like that sometimes. So this actually is a postcard that I think is kind of similar to Deal Machine would send out. It kind of sends a picture of the person's house and it's like, is this your property? I want to buy it. So that's one route you can do. And everything works, right? It's just a matter of hitting the right person at the right time. You can send yellow letters, deal machine, REI print. These are just some of the websites that will you feed it a list and it will automatically mail that list. So it's a fast way to do it, much faster than writing a simple handwritten card like I did. This was the exact card I wrote. Hi, Phyllis. I'm very interested in your home at 27 Bank Street and would like to make you a cash offer. Please call or text me at my number. Thank you, Joe. That's it. And then I got a call from sweet old Phyllis that said, I am dying and I want to sell my house, but I want to live in it until I die. Is there anything you can do to help? And I said, yes. And so I think I have her house. It's a tiny 1-bedroom house in Wallace. And it was immaculate. This is how it was when I bought it. She just lived there, and she was on Medicaid or Medicare. I'm not sure what those are. She didn't want it all paid off in one lump sum because she didn't want to get kicked out of that. And so we worked it out where it was like a seller financing deal where I gave her enough money that she could pay off some debt. She owed her sister money. But then literally today, hi honey, my husband just came in. We got a call from Phyllis today and she wants $5,000 more. And so what happens is she'll call when she has like $30,000 left of a balance. And whenever she wants money, she just calls me. We go through Panhandle Escrow and send her the money as she needs it. She knows that when it's out, once that loan is paid off, the seller financing loan, it's out. She can't just call me, ask me for money. I'll bring her cookies, but probably no more money. But anyway, so this was a very creative deal that came about from just handwriting a letter. Yes.
So what was her problem? How did you identify her? Was she behind? What was the problem?
No, I think what I did was on that REI website that I have, I just searched for any houses assessed under $250,000. I just went for I like to buy my flips or deals very low because I like my hard money payments very low. I think the highest one was that barn I did for $515. Otherwise, I like to keep my purchase price very low because I don't like the hard money payments. But anyway, so that's how I just pulled a list. I wasn't even looking for distressed homes because clearly this one wasn't. Yeah. Yes.
I believe with that woman, she was probably on Medicaid because they can only have so much income coming in, so it has to be.
Yeah, so that's her. Yep, and
and so she wanted to live in the house until she passed away, and this is an excellent opportunity for people.
Right. Yep.
I run into that all the time with what I do.
Okay. Yeah.
Is she renting it from you once her balance runs out, her seller finance?
No. So it's.
Sure, her mortgage is absolutely nothing.
She didn't have it. She owned it free and clear.
Perfect.
Yeah. And so there's no rent and there's also no payments for me. Tammy Culp at Title I said it was the weirdest deal she's ever done because normally with seller financing, there's a loan and we pay it down, and she didn't want any payments because she couldn't show income to qualify for her Medicaid, Medicare, whatever that one is. And we got it at a good price, so we didn't charge her rent. So, we're taking a chance. She might live forever, but the market will keep appreciating long term, I'm sure. But we paid all the taxes and the water and sewer for her, and I don't know. It was the combination of the right thing to do for this woman that needed help, and we also feel like we got a good deal. So, yes.
Just curious with that one. Did you ever talk to her about just getting a reverse mortgage?
I think we did. I don't remember. Yeah, I think I actually even gave her the number of a reverse mortgage. Yep, I do remember that now.
So what is the difference between a reverse mortgage and what you're doing for her?
That's a very good question, and I remember looking into that, and I don't remember why she chose not to do that.
Probably the cookies.
Yeah, probably the cookies. I don't remember. Do you remember?
Reverse mortgage, she would still own the house. Right. She would just have a balance on it, and when she passes, the bank just takes it.
The house price sitting vacant for a long time.
And if it's free and clear, she probably would get a little bit of money every month.
Yeah, okay.
That's a very good question, and I know we looked into it, and I don't remember why she chose not to do that. It might have been an issue with Medicaid, yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, because if it was Medicaid, then that would take her off Medicaid.
Okay, so that's probably why she didn't do that. Yeah.
Oh, she probably needed a little extra
You can only have
cash.
so much income, so much money in the bank, so.
Yeah, there's all these rules, and she doesn't have any internet. But she's very smart, and she knew all the things. She researched it, and I was very cautious too. I'm like, I don't want you to get screwed over here. Make sure you're doing it the right way. And so, anyway, she just called me today. This was probably at least a year ago that we bought it, and she's doing great, and it's been working out well. Okay, she's 70-ish, and she has scleroderma, which is a thickening of skin and even organs, and so it's kind of systemic for her. So she's on oxygen. It's hard for her to get around. So we got a call one day that she had set a trap in the yard, and she was pretty sure she caught a raccoon. So first off, we're like, why are you setting traps in like your condition? Something had been in there for 3 days. She wanted Joey to go out there and dispose of it. And we're like, I don't want to run out to Wallace and dispose of this raccoon. We'll call an exterminator. So I got an exterminator out there. It was a cat. She caught a cat. And I was so mad because I love cats. And anyway, that's been our only problem with Phyllis, pretty much. So otherwise,
she wanted to take the cat out.
and I think she really knew she was catching the cat because she hates cats. So I was mad. But anyway, that's Phyllis. Okay, so sometimes price is not the most important thing. You always want to ask, what actually does this person want? A lot of times, surprisingly, it's not price. If they're in a jam, they might just, like Phyllis, she just wanted to live there forever and not get kicked off of Medicaid. And sometimes it's all kinds of different reasons. So try to find out really what is most important to them, and how you can be creative. And this is a great opportunity for you to call someone like Nick too, because he's done literally all the creative things, sub to all the things that I always come to him with my deals too. I'm like, I don't know what I can do in this situation. So don't be afraid to call us if you have an interesting situation and you want to run some stuff past us. So anyway, these are just some of the creative options you can do. Okay, this is another thing you can do to get into deals is partnering. So this is a project that never ends. We're still working on this project. So this was 3 parcels. We separated into 5. We've sold, this was a trailer, and we've sold this home. Artie, thank you very much. We still have these 3 little homes that got red flagged by the state inspector. And so now we're spending $30,000 on fixing all the plumbing in them. It's a good lesson learned. But why? So a wholesaler found this deal, and they were going to take it on. But at the last minute, their hard money lender wanted way more collateral and money in a reserve account, and they just didn't have it. And so, as Nick alluded to, Moneybank's JoJo had the money, and so they came to me to partner. So why would somebody want to partner? One is experience. So I think you mentioned too, like it's just really good. Don't feel bad. Like partner with somebody the first time. You spread out your risk and you'll learn a lot if you partner with somebody that knows what they're doing, that has a lot more knowledge of the market, and has more connections to contractors, access to deals. And that's the biggest key right there. This is why we're teaching you this. He who finds, or she that finds the deal controls the whole game. So a lot of times you'll partner with somebody and the person that found the deal will maybe not do too much work, but still get a big chunk of the profit, because that's the whole thing. Like if you don't have a deal, you don't have anything. So if you find the deal, you get to control so much. So that's why it's really important to learn this skill if you want to. Anyway. So this is, I like before and afters. This is the house that RD actually sold. Some before and afters of that one. So anyway, any questions about that? Out of all those methods, which ones do you guys think you could see yourself doing to try to find a deal?
Driving for dollars or cold call.
Yeah, I love them.
MLS.
MLS, yeah. I didn't put that one up there, but I just closed down one in Priest River that was on the MLS. So
Sending the mailers, I'm way too busy to cold call and drive for dollars with
Yeah.
my own stuff.
yeah, and you make really good money doing your thing, right? So then you can funnel some of that money into leverage. Yeah.
When you found that deal on the MLS, how'd you What were the indicators?
So this is a very good question. If anybody wants to be put on a search for the MLS, RD is your man. So he can put you on a search looking for the keyword fixer, needs TLC, all those things, so that you just get a pop-up if something hits that kind of criteria. That's, you know, unless you're checking the hot sheets every day like we do, it's kind of impossible to always find deals, but that's what I was doing. I was just looking the hot sheets. That's just what's new in the last 24 hours. And this house in Priest River was on there, and it said needs work. Very limited photos. That's another key tip off. If there's like just 2 photos, you're like, something nasty's going on inside that one, right? And then you get excited. You're like, this is a good one. And then I went to it, and it was an ADU that they didn't disclose, because in Priest River, that's actually illegal. I mean, it's just not permitted to have an ADU. But once I saw that, I was like, oh, this could be a really good deal. And then, so it was listed for $230, and I remember thinking maybe I could offer $190, and I called the agent just to ask, like, hey, do you have any other offers? And she's like, I could tell she was so sick of dealing with these sellers, and she's like, look, she'll take $170, just write it up. I was like, holy cow. So I did, and so we got it, and then we just sold it for $365, so that was pretty good.
When you're looking at MLS, you're not just looking at ones that have been sitting. You're not looking at only.
Sometimes you know where my best deals have been about the 2-week mark, because it hits the market at a low price. They think it's going to sell fast. A lot of people go in and look at it, and then there's problems with it, so they're not getting any really good offers. And that 2-week mark, all of a sudden they're like, I just want to get rid of it. I don't know. That's happened to me on Pennsylvania and at Priest River. So I don't know. That's just my experience.
Question.
Yes.
So I'm learning about like MLSs. I'm trying to formulate my question, I guess. What's the difference between the MLS website and any other realty page? Like, can any realtor like post on MLS, or like what? I don't really understand.
Yeah, good question. So if you have your real estate license, then when you want to sell a property, list it, you put it on the MLS. There's different MLSs, the Coeur d'Alene one, and then there's one up north, Selkirk. Those are the 2 main ones in our area. And then that feeds to Zillow, Realtor.com, all that stuff. So as an agent, we just have to post it on the MLS, and that feeds to all the other websites, including our brand new, beautiful website. So you can just go on there and you'll see the same stuff we can see on the MLS. The only difference is, as realtors, we can see the back end of stuff and tell you how much it sold for, and private remark details that only agents are kind of privy to. Would you add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, we can't, I wish we can see more. I mean, we can see, when it comes to the sold data, that's where we can see a lot, everything else that the public can't see. But when something's active and on the MLS, you can see almost everything we can see, with the exception of like one sentence and then maybe some attachments.
Like
through your website, sir?
Yeah, through our website, any website. I would use like a website like ours that's like just directly fed from our Coeur d'Alene MLS. When you use sites like Zillow, sometimes you'll see inaccuracies, like listings that say they're active and they're not. So I would use like Realtor.com, or use our website, or just get on one of our searches, and we can give you a portal to the MLS.
So you guys can see exactly what stuff sold for, even though it's not on this website?
Yes.
But people can't just on Zillow.
Right.
You haven't made him an assistant on your MLS yet?
What's that?
You haven't made him an assistant yet?
Andrew? Then we wouldn't get the calls from him.
Made that mistake with Chad Young, though we never heard from him again.
Yes.
At what point did you call the realtor and ask her, hey, has there been any offers? Have you already walked it? And
Yeah, when I'm there at the showing, I literally do. So if I walk through it and I get the spidey senses that like, ooh, this could be a good one, I call right away. And yeah.
Second question, how much, if you don't mind disclosing, how much did you guys spend repairing?
Was a little bit muddled because we had the same crew, my handsome husband right there, Joe, and Dennis, our friend. We were doing that at the same time we were doing one in Sandpoint. And I like to keep my projects just on one credit card, but because my credit cards were maxed out on other things, we kind of convoluted it. So rough numbers, I think it was about 35,000 of the rehab, and then there was about, I was the hard money lender on that too. I did not want to be, but at the last second, my hard money guy, I'm sorry, I didn't know you at the time, was out of money. He's like, I just tied it all up, and I was like, oh crap! Like I had to use all my savings to buy that one, but then I made the 10% when that one closed finally. So our profit on that was about 130,000, I think, to be split 50-50. Joey and I 50, and Dennis the other 50, because he did most of the rehab on it. That's how we structured that. I usually do a joint venture with my contractors. That's just how I like to work. I have a very hard time paying somebody per hour, or because inevitably they're like, oh, I'm getting paid per hour, I'll just take my time. I like working with people that are just as motivated to hurry up and get this done, so then they'll get paid. So I'm not saying that's right or wrong, that's just how I've done it.
So the stuff you got on the MLS, since you're an agent, you could actually represent yourself, and did you get a commission from that?
Yeah, yep. Nick and I, we still split our commissions when we flip a house.
So that could kind of make the deal even that much better. A specific deal on the MLS.
Yep.
If you like credit for dollars and you see a house that's distressed, it doesn't mean they're buying or it's on auction or foreclosure or anything like that. How would you start that script?
Are you willing to knock on their door?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll just knock on the door and be like, hey, I was in the neighborhood, and are you guys thinking of selling by any chance? Because I'm really trying to find something in this neighborhood. I don't know if you'd say, I would say like, I'm an investor, and just curious if you are thinking of selling. I don't know. What would you say?
So your house looks like shit.
So what you told us?
Or if I didn't want to knock on the door, I would call and say the same thing, like, hey, I saw your house on 123 Main Street. Are you guys thinking of selling by any chance? Just ask open-ended questions. I guess that's a more yes/no question.
I'd say we're looking to buy property in the neighborhood, not necessarily theirs, because I am targeting the house because it does look like shit, so I kind of want to dance around.
Oh, that's a good idea too. I'm not a wholesaler. I'm just as green as anybody with this stuff.
Sticking it on the door if they're not there. Yeah. Is that pretty good return?
No. I mean, every once in a while you get lucky.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a guy that moved to Florida. What was his name again? That did that? Remember that guy that used to come to the meetups and he moved to Florida?
Oh, Aaron?
Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah, he moved back.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
He got a deal from putting a note on a door, I remember. Insane. So it does work.
It all works.
It all works, yeah. You just have to do it and stay consistent. I think that's the main reason Nick and I have had any success over the last 10 years is we literally show up every day. We show up and opportunities happen. So that's my best advice with that too.
Persistence overcomes resistance.
Yeah. Any other questions?
You said that there's less inventory, right, up here, but nationwide they're saying, oh, there's more inventory. Or do I have it backwards?
No, I think you're right. I think in a lot of other parts of the country, there's more things on the market, so it's more of a buyer's market. Here, it's still more of a seller's market, even though it doesn't exactly feel that way. Personal experience is a lot of things are contingent in this market. It seems like things like they want to buy, but it's contingent on something else. I don't know. That's just been my experience this year so far.
Yeah, a lot of contingencies.
Mhm.
A lot of people that have to sell the house first. So we're not getting multiple offers as much as you would expect or anything like that. They're slow and steady.
It's not 2020 months now.
No, unfortunately. Yeah.
But it does make it a lot easier for buyers, like as an agent, to go and show houses. It's just so much better than it was in 2021, 2022, when you're trying to, you're at an auction, basically. and you can't do any proper due diligence, and it was a mess. So it's a much more, I think it's a healthier market that we're in, even though it's still short supply, but also the fact that rates are at where they are, we're not, I feel like we're kind of used to these inventory levels now, and things are pretty steady.
So like with new construction, are you seeing people just like buying them before they're even done built?
Yeah, a lot of new construction is pending before they ever start pouring a foundation. Yeah.
We should have put
New
our
construction's actually dominant